In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up the latest mods for Render96 models in Super Mario 64 CoopDX. CoopDX is support for Super Mario 64, which allows you to play on the PC or other systems of your choice. In the past few weeks, there's been some really cool changes from the Render96 team that introduces new models and packs that look really nice. I did a video on the initial Render96 release a few weeks ago, and I know some people had issues activating the mod, so I figured I'd just run through the whole thing again with a lot more detail on the installation and setup. And the reason I'm doing it unscripted is just so I can talk as I'm literally dragging files, and hopefully that makes it easier to follow. There's a lot of fine-tuning you can do as well in terms of how different you want these character models to look. And so we're going to look at those optional changes that you can do at the end of the video if you want to try to retain a more purist look, similar to what these models look like on the N64. Alright, now the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure you have the latest version of Super Mario 64 CoopDX, which you can get from the website. There's going to be a download link right near the top of the page, which is going to take you to the latest release on GitHub. Once you're on the GitHub, you're going to see different versions for different systems. In my case, I'm using a Windows PC, so I'm going to use windows.zip. And then when you click on the assets here, there should be a download that initiates and will go to your downloads folder. Now, once the download finishes, find the file that you downloaded in your downloads folder. And then you're going to want to extract that to a folder location of your choice. This is going to become your game directory, so preferably you want to be somewhere where this is accessible. I keep mine on my desktop. And so once you open up the zip file that you downloaded, you're going to drag all of the files there into that new folder that you created on your desktop. Alright, now we're ready to start downloading the different mods to make Render96 run. One of the first mods you're going to need to get is the character select, which is a prerequisite for the Render96 mod. So I've included a link to this one in the description, but essentially all you're going to do here is download the zip. And then once you've downloaded your zip, you're going to need to extract that into your mods folder on the CoopDX directory. So once you do that, you should see a few mods. Some of these are pre-installed by default, but just make sure you see character select co-op here with those other ones. Alright, now the next file we're going to pull here is the R96 mod pack version 4.026. Once you download this one, you should see that this one has two separate levels. So one of these is for actor changes, model changes, and things like that. And we're going to actually come back to this folder in a little bit for optional tweaks you can do. And then there's three levels that have been changed. So level 1, Bowser 1, Bowser 2, and Bowser 3 have a new look, and I'm going to show you what that looks like in a moment. But all you're going to want to do here is take both of these Render96 folders and drag them into your mods folder. So currently I'm in the mods folder here. And so just to double check, we have three things in total: Render96A, Render96 levels, and character select co-op. Now at this point, you could play the game. All you would have to do is run the Super Mario 64 CoopDX executable. If it's your first time running the game, you'll probably see something like this here. It's a black screen that says no ROM detected. So this is where you need to drag and drop your legal copy of Super Mario 64.z64. And once you do, there's going to be an extraction of the game assets, and there's going to be a script that runs. And once that's done, you're going to be able to start hosting your game. And so initially, all you're going to want to make sure you do is in the mods menu, you want to make sure you have character select enabled, and then you want to make sure that you have your Render96, both of them enabled. In some cases, you may see things grayed out. Typically that happens when you have conflicting mods. So as an example here, Star Road 64 is a custom mod campaign with 120 different stars you can collect, similar to Super Mario 74. And so these can only run one at a time. Like you can't play Star Road and Super Mario 74 at the same time. Some people reported that they saw this option being grayed out, and I'm not 100% sure why, but the only thing that comes to mind is there could be other mods or things enabled that could create a conflict with this, so just be careful with that. Now, assuming all you have is these three enabled, you're ready to go. And then you would see the game with the new models. So here you see Super Mario, Now, you will notice there's still a few things missing here, like the HUD element still looks a little bit rough. If you look up at the skyboxes, that still looks kind of, you know, not the nicest. So now the next thing that I'm going to show you is how you can make these things looking nice and crisp through a custom texture pack that was also released by the Render96 team. Alright, so the texture pack we're going to want to get is called Render96 HD Texture Pack version 1.3.26. Now once you click and download this one, it's going to be a similar process to what we were doing before, but in this case we don't want to be going into the mods folder. This texture pack we're going to want to get into the Dinos folder up here. So we're going to click into the Dinos folder, click into packs, and then I want to make sure that I drag the new Render96 HD texture pack into that packs folder. Once the extraction is done, go back into the main root folder, open up the executable again. So once you go into the game, you're going to need to enable that texture pack we just added in. So to do that, all you need to do is press start, hit your R button for options, and then there's going to be a Dino S Packs menu here. And all you need to do is make sure that you check the box of the HD texture pack that we just added in. So once you check off the box, you should immediately notice the sky boxes look a lot more nice. This is going to add a lot of detailing as well to the walls. So you can just see here, if you were to disable it, the walls look a little bit more boring. So enabling this just adds a nicer texture to walls and various elements that you're going to encounter throughout the game. Now with this version, you're going to notice some of the characters look pretty different, probably very different from what you remember at the N64, and Boo is one of the best examples of this. So in this version, he's got a crown, he's got a mustache too, and so if you wanted Boo to look more similar to what you were used to in the Nintendo 64, there's some optional tweaks you can do to make that happen. There's two optional changes that you can add in for how the models look. So starting with Crownless bosses, there's two bosses, Boo and Womp, that have a crown with the default configuration that you add in initially. So if you want to remove the crowns, you would simply download this file here. And then once you download the file, you're going to see that there's a file inside called actors. So inside this actors file is going to be two different .bin files. And so what you would need to do to change it is go into your mods folder, Render96_A, actors. And so here you would essentially be overwriting these files by dragging it in. The Purity Pack works very much the same way. It's going to be a download with a bunch of bin files. And so if you wanted to remove the crowns and retain that Nintendo 64 style look as much as possible, then you would want to do this one first, the Purity Pack, and drag these guys over here. And then once you do that one, you would want to overwrite with the two that are part of the Crownless Bosses pack. Regardless of how you end up configuring the models, I think it all looks beautiful and these guys did an outstanding job. As of now, the only levels with more intensive cosmetic updates outside of the nice looking skyboxes you see across all levels thanks to the HD texture pack is the 3 Bowser levels, and I've included a quick side-by-side comparison just so you can see how much this transforms those 3 levels from the originals. My hope is that additional levels will see transformations in subsequent updates. The first 4 maps of the game actually had Render96 transformations in the other Super Mario 64 PC port, so I hope in time they'll be able to port those over to CoopDX because they do look quite nice. I played these a few months ago when experimenting with a Super Mario Galaxy conversion of Super Mario 64, and I still had a build of that game kicking around, so I included some of that footage here for you to see. But that's all I have for today. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below, and let me know which of these transformations you think is the coolest.